8:45, this is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by J. Yogaraj and read by Lavani Vijayatunga. First, we take a look at the headlines. The Ministry of Housing and Construction says the projects which were not completed and carried out in a slow phase will be restructured next year with a new work plan. Votes on the Ministries of Environment, Wildlife and Forest Conservation and Tourism and Lands were passed in the Parliament today. Over 44,000 students will be enrolled in the universities this time. Minister Bandula Gunawarthana says it is ideal and suitable to establish internationally recognized universities in the country. Sri Lanka appeals to the Maldives for investments in various sectors. Tourist arrivals record 59,759 in November. The power cut schedule for this weekend announced. In news overseas, Ukraine war, Russia demands annexations recognized before talks. And in sports news, Litan to lead Bangladesh in ODI series against India. Those were the headlines, and now we move on to the details of the local news. The Ministry of Housing and Construction says that the projects which are not completed and carried out in a slow phase would be restructured next year with a new work plan. Accordingly, the new town development in Lunagaswela in Anuradhapura is scheduled to commence next year. The building is used for the devotees travelling to Kataragama Devalaya will be refurbished with new facilities. Similarly, 10 housing projects are identified to be implemented next year. Minister Bandula Gunawarthana says that it is ideal and suitable to establish internationally recognized universities in the country. The minister made these remarks while sharing his comments with the SLBC this morning. This will save a lot of foreign exchange, the minister added. It should be noted that many Sri Lankan students travel abroad every year for higher studies, spending large amount of foreign exchange. The new approach will definitely save a lot of foreign exchange, which could be used for other internal purposes. The applications are called for primary, intermediary and final exams of the Pirivena institutions. The closing days for these applications will be 28th of this month. The examinations department said the relevant exams will be held in March 2023. The university entrance cutoff marks for the candidates of the 2021 GC Advanced Level Examinations have been released by the University Grants Commission. The cutoff marks can be accessed from the official website of the UGC. Registration for the selected courses and the universities will be informed to the candidates within 2 weeks via SMS and email. UGC Chairman Professor Sampath Amaratunga stated that appeals can be made within the period of 30 days. He said 44,000 students will be enrolled in the universities this time. 4 new study programs have also been introduced. According to the UGC, 91,115 candidates have applied for university admission for the academic year 2021-22. This is the news from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. And we continue with more local news. The committee stage debate on the Ministries of Environment, Wildlife and Forest Conservation and Tourism and Lands took place in Parliament today. Speaking at the debate, State Minister Diana Gamage said measures should be taken to introduce a night economy to attract more tourists. She said programs should be prepared to earn more foreign exchange through tourism. She said there should be a system in place where tourists could make bookings and payments to visit wildlife parks and other places as soon as they arrive at the airports. MP Ajit Manaperama said Geological and Mines Bureau has become an organization filled with fraud and corruption. He said the forest density has reduced and the Forest Conservation Department has become a company to sell forests. MP W.D. Veerasinghe pointed out the need of a program to prevent damages to agricultural produce from wild animals. MP Gantha Karunatilaka said that the data system should be prepared about lands under People's Estate Development Board and the Land Reforms Commission. He requested the government to reconsider bringing the lands belonging to the Mahavali Land and Reform Commission under the district secretaries. The votes on the Ministries of Environment, Wildlife and Forest Conservation and Tourism and Lands were passed in the Parliament today. Tourist arrivals for November recorded 59,759, showing a sign of recovery after 6 months. This figure was at 44,294 in 2021 November, recording a positive growth against the corresponding month of last year. Total arrivals for the year 2022 now stands at 628,017, and it was 194,995 last year. Sri Lanka tourism expects to end the year with over 700,000 arrivals. The first 6 months of the year 2022 had an average of over 50,000 per month, but fell below in the next 4 months, with September recording 29,802, which was the lowest for the year 2022. The best month for the year 2022 was March, where 106,500 arrivals were witnessed. The Public Utilities Commission of Sri Lanka has approved power cuts of 2 hours and 20 minutes this weekend. Accordingly, power cuts will be imposed on December 3rd and 4th as follows. Groups A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, and W, 1 hour during the daytime and 1 hour and 20 minutes at night. And to conclude the local news, the headlines once again. The Ministry of Housing and Construction says the projects which are not completed and carried out in a slow phase will be restructured next year with a new work plan. The vote on the Ministries of Environment, Wildlife and Forest Conservation and Tourism and Lands were passed in Parliament today. Over 44,000 students will be enrolled in universities this time. Minister Bandula Gunawardena says it is ideal and suitable to establish internationally recognized universities in the country. Sri Lanka appeals to the Maldives for investments in various sectors. Tourist arrivals record 59,759 in November. And power cut schedule for this weekend announced. And that was the local news.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Sri Lanka, President Ranil Wickremesinghe requested the Maldives to invest in Sri Lanka's high-tech agriculture sector, cruising tourism and high-end tourism sectors. He made this invitation during a meeting with the Vice President of Maldives, Faisal Nasim, at the Presidential Secretariat today. President Wickremesinghe also requested the Maldives to join hands with Sri Lanka in establishing the Climate Change University. The duo also discussed on the growing drug menace affecting the region, and President Ranil Wickremesinghe sought the assistance of the Maldives in combating the drug scourge. President Wickremesinghe also told the Maldivian Vice President that he intends to invite the Maldivian President to Sri Lanka once his residence, which was destroyed during the July protests, is rebuilt. And that was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Watch Life is brought to you by...
Celebrate Christmas and New Year with lots of CIB discounts. Valuable gifts with bank discounts till 31st of December. Come to CIB today.
And moving on to Watchlight. The National Water Supply and Drainage Board says that water supply will be interrupted from tonight at 10 p.m. until 1 p.m. tomorrow in Colombo due to an essential renovation project of the Amatale water treatment plant. The Water Board said that the water supply will be interrupted in Colombo 11, 12, 4, 13, 14 and 15, and the board regrets the inconvenience caused to the public and requests to collect adequate water in advance. And that came to you in Watchlight.
Celebrate Christmas and New Year with lots of CIB discounts. Valuable gifts with bank discounts till 31st of December. Come to CIB today.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
We give you the strength to rise higher and higher.
Never step back, but always march forward.
Empowering you to reach greater heights. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
Headlines of the world news: Ukraine war, Russia demands annexations recognized before the talks. Cyril Ramaphosa, South Africa's president, considers future amid corruption scandal. Elon Musk suspends Kanye West from Twitter for inciting violence. Those are the headlines, and now on to the details of the world news. Russia says the West's refusal to recognize new territories seized from the Ukraine makes peace talks harder after President Joe Biden indicated he would be ready to meet President Vladimir Putin. The Kremlin said it was open to negotiations but not on the West's demands to pull out of Ukraine. Russia illegally annexed 4 Ukrainian regions at the end of September without controlling any one of them. South Africans are waiting, many in deep consideration, to find out if President Cyril Ramaphosa is about to resign in the wake of a murky and highly politicized scandal involving cattle, a sofa, and a theft of hundreds of thousands and possibly millions of dollars. How much now hangs on a meeting of leaders of the country's governing party, the African National Congress, which is due to convene in the coming days. Mr. Ramaphosa's almost ardent supporters, he remains a popular leader, frame this moment as an all-or-nothing fight between a decent man desperately trying to clean up a corruption-ridden country and the forces of chaos with the ANC who are trying to get rid of him in order to keep hold of their loot and keep themselves out of prison. Kanye West has been suspended from Twitter and accused of inciting violence over offensive tweets just 2 months after his last ban. The US rapper, who goes by the name Ye, posted a series of erratic tweets, one of which appeared to show a symbol combining swastika and a Jewish star. Twitter's new boss, Elon Musk, was asked by one user to fix him. And to conclude the world news, the headlines once again. Ukraine war, Russia demands annexations recognized before talks. Cyril Ramaphosa, South Africa's president, considers future amid corruption scandal. Elon Musk suspends Kanye West from Twitter for inciting violence. That was the world news. Let's move on to development news.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
Amidst all challenges, we will rally around you and advance.
In the face of hardships, let's stand strong together.
Empowering you to reach greater heights. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
In development news, the French Development Agency signed a grant agreement worth 450,000 euros with the Ceylon Electricity Board and Electricité de France to support the increasing share of intermittent renewable energies in Sri Lanka's energy grid. Agreement was signed by AFD Country Director Reda Sergi, Chairman of the Ceylon Electricity Board, Nalinda Ilangakon, and EDF Centre for Transportation Systems engineering representatives in the presence of Jean-Francois Pallet, Ambassador of France to Sri Lanka. That was the development news. Let's move on to sports news. In cricket, Liton Das has been named the Bangladeshi captain for their 3-match ODI series against India at home starting in Dhaka on Sunday. Tamim Iqbal, the regular ODI captain, had earlier pulled out of the series because of a groin injury. He is also doubtful for the test series that begins in Chittagong on 14th of December. Taskin Ahmed has also been ruled out of the first ODI because of a back injury. Liton has not captained Bangladesh in an ODI before, but led them in a T20I back in April 2021. He did not have the best of outings at the time, falling for the first ball duck in a rain-shortened game. He has, however, been in excellent form across formats for Bangladesh and their highest scorer in ODIs this year with 500 runs in 10 innings, averaging 62.5. And still in sports news, we have local athletics. 2 records were established in the very first day. Thus today at the National Athletic Meet, which is being held at the Colombo Sukadadasa Stadium. 12.72 meters length was achieved in the under-20 girls discus throw. Oshini Chandrasekhara of Colombo Bishops College made this record today. Meanwhile, Devini Madhura Premva from Colombo Museums College also established a record in discus throw. That was the sports news. Business news coming up.
The fastest way to earn the highest interest. An interest rate of 22% in 4 months. NSB, the safest place for your money.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
The Commercial Bank of Ceylon has announced that 10 billion rupees debentures is closed within hours of opening after it was oversubscribed on the opening day yesterday in a noteworthy vote of confidence from the investors. The debentures to the value of 10 billion rupees are being issued to further strengthen the Tier 2 capital base of the bank, bridge maturity mismatches in the assets and liabilities portfolio of the bank, and raise funds for the expansion of the bank's lending portfolio, especially in the segments such as small and medium-scale enterprises and export-oriented industries in the interest of supporting the national economy. That was the business news. Economic news follows.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
The fastest way to earn the highest interest, an interest rate of 22% in 4 months. NSB, the safest place for your money.
In economic news, Sri Lanka is planning on introducing electric vehicles for the use in the tourism sector, Tourism Minister Harin Fernando said. Speaking at the Cabinet press briefing held yesterday, Minister Fernando also said that most of the vehicles in the current tourism fleet are very old and were imported way back in the year 2018, and new vehicles were needed for replacement. The tourism minister said that he is also expecting to hold discussions with President Ranil Wickremesinghe and the central bank officials with regard to debt moratorium granted to the tourism industry. That was the economic news, and let's move on to the weather report. The Met Department says showers or thunder showers will occur in the northern, eastern and north central provinces and in the Hambantota district. Showers or thunder showers will occur elsewhere during the afternoon or night. Heavy showers above 100 millimeters are likely in some places in the western, Sabaragamuha and central provinces and in the Galle and Mathura districts. The general public is kindly requested to take adequate precautions to minimize damages caused by temporary localized strong winds and lightning during thunder showers. This weather report was published this evening at 7:30 p.m. Further details could be obtained by visiting the official website of the department. And before we conclude this bulletin of news, let's get back to the headlines once again. The Ministry of Housing and Construction says the projects which are not completed and carried out in a slow phase will be restructured next year with a new work plan. The votes of the Ministries of Environment, Wildlife and Forest Conservation and Tourism and Lands were passed in the Parliament today. Over 44,000 students will be enrolled in the universities this time. Minister Bandala Gunawardana says it is ideal and suitable to establish internationally recognized universities in the country. Sri Lanka appeals to the Maldives for investments in various sectors. The tourist arrivals record 59,759 in November. The power cut schedule for this weekend announced. In news overseas, Ukraine war, Russia demands annexations of recognized areas before talks, and in sports, Litan to lead Bangladesh in ODI series against India. And with that, we conclude this bulletin of news.